You wrote a very popular piece, an interesting piece, I should say, about Catherine's year out of the spotlight, and as she was being treated for cancer, obviously. Can you tell us a little bit about what you found about that year?
It was a year, can you believe it, since she released that incredibly unprecedented and very moving video revealing to the public that she had cancer and was receiving preventative chemotherapy. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to look back at really how that video came about and how things are for them now. And I think what was really struck me is how personal a project that was to her. That, you know, there were so few people within that circle of trust at Kensington Palace. I mean, barely anybody. And it was very much her idea. You know, she was in charge of the video, where it was shot. There were 371 words I counted in her address, and every one of them was written by herself. And a fascinating aspect that I hadn't realised is that she felt that because it was such a personal piece of news, she really was the one that wanted to impart it to people. But also there was a kind of added complication. If you remember, there was a lot of disinformation around at the time.
A lot of jokes, which is just hideous.
Some pretty nasty speculation, but they were quite rattled when it emerged that a lot of this had been fueled by Russian governmental bots. There was some research on it. Yeah. And it was a big issue for the royal family, because obviously the royal family is a very unifying factor for this country normally, but a foreign entity was actually trying to use it to create disharmony. And it was part of their thinking, but by no means the main piece of their thinking, that actually the best way to stop this dead in its tracks was for it to come from her. The happier news is that she's in a good place. Still being outdoors a lot with her kids, you know, she's going to the gym now, you know, eating very healthily. But again, it's been emphasised to me that really what I said towards the end of last year, slow and steady. There's no great, you know, turning from what they've already said, is that she's going to pick up her engagements diary, you know, quite slowly.
Yeah.